In the past 6 months, I've helped over hundreds of people start a profitable freelance brand scaling business without a personal brand, a team, or years of experience. And in this video, I'll walk you through the exact same roadmap to copy my exact freelance brand scaling model from scratch. The same way I did to go from broke 9-to-5 worker to pretty much living my dream life at 21. So if you're tired of chasing, jumping around business models, or being stuck in a job you hate, this video can change everything for you. Let's get into it. Step 1, pick a niche. Picking the right niche is important because it pretty much dictates the difficulty level of your business. And obviously, if you're a beginner, you'd want this to be as easy as possible. For example, I personally picked the niche of streetwear when I was first getting started. It was super easy for me to enter into. Not only had I already learned the skill by running ads for my own clothing brand, I also had connection to a lot of clothing brand owners from running my own brand. As I got deeper into the realm of freelance brand scaling and learned other niches, I realized some niches have higher competition than others, some brands are broke or reinvesting every dollar already, or they simply just already follow a million agencies or marketing guys DMing them. From the get-go, signing my first few clients was pretty easy due to the connections in the clothing brand space I had prior. Without that, it would have been very hard for me starting off because I wasn't just competing with better marketers. A lot of the people I was selling to were extremely skeptical and probably broke. And for a lot of you, that experience will kill your confidence fast. I can speak from experience. You start to get demotivated fast when clients stop responding, you get no responses outreaching, cold calls go nowhere, you start doubting your own skill, and then you end up switching business models for the 20th time. And although I was able to enter the realm of freelance brand scaling with the connections and skills I had already built, in the beginning it felt like I was fighting to survive every month. And if I were restarting from complete zero today with no skills or no experience, I would do it a different way. I'd start by doing lead gen for local service businesses. Lead gen clients are not only the easiest clients to sign, but they actually have money to allocate towards ads. They're generally a more sophisticated business owner. For example, a middle-aged dude in his 40s who's owned a landscaping company for 10 years. He's generally gonna understand the concept of it takes money to make money more than some 18-year-old clothing brand owner would. Not only that, but they're much easier to manage a business relationship with. They're much more sophisticated. Service-based niches like landscapers, pressure washers, cleaning services, they care about leads, not likes and followers. These clients don't know how to scale. They generally just don't understand how to run a modernized business and leverage social media. You become their growth partner. Now you know who you're reaching out to, but how do you actually get clients? That leads us to step 2. Client acquisition mastery. This is where most people stay stagnant because getting clients feels intimidating, especially in the beginning. Trust me, this shit was scary to me too at first. I was a 17-year-old kid working at a golf course trying to convince business owners that I was the best option for them to scale their business. But I learned without mastering client acquisition, you stay stuck in the waiting game forever, hoping a client will magically find you and message you first. The biggest problem a lot of freelance brand scalers face is that they do it without even realizing, because they hide behind preparation instead of actually throwing themselves into the game and figuring it out with some simple hands-on experience. Spending weeks building a website, tweaking your logo and bio 14 times, overthinking your pricing, and then hoping a client magically finds you on Instagram. You think that you're working on your business, but in reality, you're just delaying what actually needs to be done. Now, the people making $5, $10, $20,000 a month are already talking to real business owners. They're booking calls and closing deals. They're not overthinking the things that don't matter. So what are the best ways to actually get some clients? First and best way, in my opinion, is cold calling. And for those of you who are taking my advice and focusing on doing lead gen for service-based businesses, this is the best possible option for you guys. It's the easiest way to sign clients, and ultimately it builds skills that every 6-figure freelancer or agency owner needs to be successful at high scale, like sales confidence, objection handling. You'll learn real fast what makes people actually interested versus confused. So if you're ready to get your first few clients locked in from cold calling, go off a basic framework. Personally, I'm not a firm believer in sticking to a script. Most people tend to rely on that script way too heavily. Instead, create a base framework you can go off of and let the conversation flow naturally. The second best option for client acquisition is cold email. This can also work for the service-based businesses, but it doesn't convert as well as cold calling. The big advantage to this is that you can mass send emails, so it'll save you a ton of time when you're doing outreach. The best thing you can do in sending cold emails to give yourself an advantage against other companies in their inbox is giving them some form of free resources, something that actually gives them incentive to open and read the email. This could be like a free consultation call or even a free PDF resource that some way, some form provides them value. As soon as they see value coming from you, they'll become way more likely to book in a meeting with you or actually close as a client. And then the last option is social media. This is best for people who are aiming for e-commerce businesses like clothing brands, skincare, supplements, anything like that. This isn't effective for service-based businesses because majority of those businesses aren't active on social media. I wouldn't say there's a particular method to social media outreach. It differs depending on your style and approach. For someone like me, who has a huge personal brand, the first message I send is just a soft approach. Something along the lines of, hey, name, I love the brand, came across your ads on TikTok. Now, I didn't actually come across their ads, but that's usually a way of getting my in. And usually they respond with something like, hey, thanks, man, or appreciate it, bro. And now is my way of wiggling towards my pitch. Next message, I'll send something like, you guys are crushing on TikTok. Was curious if you guys are doing anything on the meta ad side of things. They'll respond with like, we have before, but they didn't perform too well. This gives me leverage. I still keep the soft approach, but I know they have a pain point. That pain point could be they've never tried it before or it didn't work for them. I simply send a message along the lines of, sucks to hear that. If you're ever interested anyway, I'd love to see if my team and I could help. Notice how I'm still keeping a very soft and humble approach, but simple as that. Boom, get the meeting booked and closed. Keep it sweet and simple. Now that you know how to actually get a client, how do you actually deliver the service? That brings us to step 3, service delivery. Meta ads plus creatives. In this step, you need to understand, yes, we are delivering a service, but we also need to deliver results because that's what keeps the money coming in. If you can't deliver any results, they're gonna end up canceling after 30 days. You'll be stuck in a constant chase for new clients and scaling ultimately becomes impossible. Good service delivery equals retention. And retention equals consistent income. It's simple as that. The way to deliver results with freelance brand scaling is as simple as knowing how to use the Facebook Ads Manager and knowing how to identify winning creatives. All right, y'all. So now we are actually inside of the Ads Manager. We're at the desktop at the PC here, and I'm going to show you guys the basics of setting up your first ever campaign as well as how to identify winning creatives. So this is going to be super, super simple. I'm going to keep this like super beginner level friendly. You guys can go check out my last video that goes a little more in depth on how to actually run and set up ads. This video, I'm going to keep it pretty simple as I'm giving you guys kind of the framework for the whole like freelance brand scaling business, as where like my last video was just like ads manager oriented. I think that video was like 40 some minutes long. So go check that out as well after this video. I'm going to show you guys how to launch like just a basic campaign. This is what we're going to call a cold conversions campaign. So essentially the goal of this campaign is to target anyone and everyone that Facebook thinks is an ideal customer, someone who's likely to buy from a brand, from this brand. This is specifically one of my clothing clients, Heaven Sent. We've been working with them for a while now. I'm going to show you guys how I would like restructure just a cold conversions campaign if I was building one from scratch for them. So we'll go through everything from the campaign setup, the audience, the creatives, etc. First things first, you're going to be in the ads manager. You're essentially just going to want to make sure you have your ads manager account set up and launched. Next, you're going to go into creating a new campaign and select sales. Then it'll bring you to this screen here. So this screen is where we're going to set up everything for the campaign. I'm going to go ahead and name this whatever I would like to name this. I'm just in this case going to name it cold conversions, keep it stupid simple, and then the brand name. So just however you best stay organized, you can name that whatever. We're going to go ahead and set the budget at the ad set. That way it spends out of the ad set level instead of the campaign level. That's all we're going to do for the campaign part of it. We're going to move forward to the ad set. Now we're going to, again, just name this cold conversions, keep it stupid simple, whatever helps you stay organized. You can name it whatever, does not matter at all. Conversion location is going to be the website because we're directing all customers to the website. That's where we want the traffic from the ads. We want all the customers to go from seeing the ad to go into the website. And our goal with that is to maximize the number of conversions. So that's exactly what we're going to set this to do. You're going to want to make sure you have your pixel connected. I don't, because I'm on a separate ad account that's not actually the client's ad account, just for like privacy purposes. I can't show you guys everything we're doing for this client, so I have it on a separate brand new ad account that's not connected to anything, just so that I can demonstrate this for you guys. And this client was nice enough to let me do that, so shout out Heaven Sent. But yeah, you're going to want to make sure you have your pixel, your data set connected. That's what tracks all the revenue coming from Facebook into the ads manager. Next, we're going to scroll down here. We're going to go ahead and set a daily budget. In this case, I'm just going to say 50 bucks a day. For you guys, whatever your first client is that you sign, or your second or third, wherever you're at within your freelance brand scaling business, you just kind of want to communicate with them, ask them like, yo, what are you guys looking to spend per day? Like, are you cool with doing 25, 50 bucks, and kind of just like accommodate with whatever their budget is. Obviously, the more you spend per day, the faster you're going to see data come through and faster see results come through. The less you spend, the slower it's going to happen. Next, we're going to come down to audience. We're not going to mess with any of this in this case, considering this is a cold conversions campaign, but this is where you would set up different targeting, like what type of people you want to show this ad to. In this case, like just 18 to 65 plus, all genders, all demographics, interests, and behaviors. We're just going to let Facebook do its thing here. We're just going to let them automatically kind of target whoever it thinks is the best suited customer for this product. Placements, we're just going to go ahead and leave this as well. Now, this is a clothing product, so I'm going to show you guys like example of a clothing product. This is like one ad we're doing. This is like another ad we're doing. These are all obviously like I set this up very, very, very basic for you guys to be able to follow along with. So this is going to be the actual like ad that we're setting up, right? So it's a carousel image that goes from all the mock-ups to individual mock-ups, kind of shows the hoodies up close, just not on body or anything, just pretty straight to the point, right? Simple copy, have them direct to the website. If we look here, it'll take them directly to this website when they click on the ad. Here's where you're just going to upload your creative media. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of a gist of kind of what's like a solid creative, just make sure it's presented well to the customer. It looks good. It feels good. Like it showcases the product well. It looks like it's something worth buying. Always ask yourself like, if I saw this ad, would I stop scrolling on it? If not, then you got to probably cycle in some new creatives. But you write your copy here, set your call to action. In this case, I'm going to do shop now. Since I'm running it for a clothing brand, we're taking them directly to the site. It makes sense to do shop now. Say you're running it for like a landscaping company, you would probably want to put it as like learn more or contact us, something like that. That's how we're going to edit. Then you can just duplicate, create more and more ads by just uploading more images, changing the text variation, getting creative with it. That's the biggest thing. Just add creativity into this. Add your own like thought process into this. Get creative with it. Be unique. Stand out from other people. Don't just copy and paste what I'm doing here, because this isn't even good copy. I'm literally just showing you guys this as examples of how to set this up. I'm not saying this is good copy this bar for bar, because writing the caption is new collection out now isn't very good copy unless it's a product that genuinely is just a really good product that sells itself. For something like this brand, we're going to want to get like more in depth with it. Here's another example, sub creatives, just t-shirts, mock-ups. Keep it stupid simple, right? But yeah, biggest thing with this is just continuing to test a lot of creatives, getting different variation of creative styles so that you can really see what works best with a brand, and ultimately just testing a bunch of different things and really just gathering data on all of those different things that you're testing and then making changes based off of that data. That's really all the ads manager is a game of just testing different stuff, seeing what works, continuing to scale up what does work, and then just replacing what doesn't work with new stuff. It's that simple. Let's get back into the other stuff. Now, this is the exact same setup I teach everyone inside of my private program, where I coach normal people just like you on how to start a freelance brand scaling business. I've helped people like James scale to over $20,000 a month with this business model while he's still in college, or Tanner, who went from graduating high school to $15,000 a month. If you want to take this seriously and speed run the entire process, you can click the top link in the description to apply. Now it's time to move on to the step to make sure you can actually keep these clients, which is step 4, client retention. Getting clients is one thing. Keeping them is another, because now it shifts from convincing them to pay for your service to proving you're actually worth what they're paying. This is where most freelancers mess it up. They lose clients that ultimately they could have kept for 6-12 months. And here's usually what happens. They launch one random ad, cross their fingers, and just hope and pray that it works. They don't track the results, so they can't explain what's working or what's not working and why. They stop communicating once the invoice is paid. Don't do that. They just treat service delivery like a checklist instead of a growth opportunity. Remember, the better results you get your client, the more money you make long term. To start, you can keep your clients happy by simply giving them fast responses and weekly check-ins. The last thing you want to do is have unhappy clients because you have poor communication communication on your end. The biggest thing clients want to see is that you simply care about them. And you can so easily do that by just communicating in a timely manner, offer weekly check-in meetings. You can send them like mini value looms every week if things even are going well, and just send them check-in messages like, hey, just a quick update on this ad. It did 4 leads yesterday. We spent X amount of money. Let me know if you need anything. Remember, there is no such thing as over-delivering. You'll keep clients 3 times longer with better communication. Now it's time to actually start scaling. So step 5, rinse, refine, repeat. After you sign one client, the next ones get easier and easier and easier, and you can start scaling your agency. And when it comes time to do that, it's insanely easy to get ahead of your competition if you just stick to it. Remember that determination and consistency is literally everything here. Simply just do the things you know you need to do and do it now. You can be building towards something huge long-term simply by just making the decision to stay consistent. While other people are out there signing a couple clients and getting complacent. They have a bad month and they give up, or they switch to the new shiny object. So the reality of this business is that it's just a game of you getting in as many reps as possible. But as you scale higher and higher, you eventually won't be able to do it by yourself. So this is where you start branching off into becoming an agency. And this is where the real money comes in, because you'll be able to take on a lot more clients. For now, majority of you are in the very beginning stage. Focus on building your skill set to the best of your ability, and the results will come naturally. Once you become a master, the clients flow in and so does the money. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you can just start to hire people underneath you and delegate certain areas of the business out, just like I have with my agency. But for now, the best advice that I genuinely can give you is to focus on becoming the best at everything. Worry about scaling out later. I can make a separate video on what that looks like to scale out an agency and hire and delegate and implement systems. But now I literally gave you the step-by-step format of what you need to do to go and get started doing freelance brand scaling. You have the roadmap. It's a matter of you going and doing the things you know you need to do. It's just, how bad do you actually want it? For example, I've given this same roadmap to people like Adonis, who went from high school to $17,000 a month as a freelance brand scaler. Or Griffin, who last month made $8,000 after starting from completely zero while still attending college. They wanted it bad enough. Why can't you? You have the formula, you have the roadmap, you know what you need to do. Are you gonna go do it? Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out my other videos for more in-depth about freelance brand scaling. And if you guys want one-on-one coaching inside of the Elite Roundtable, the link is in the description. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.